Christmas and the holidays can bring joy to some, but sadness to others. So I want to talk about depression and mood issues today because it's complex and there's no simple quick fix. I want to lay out different contributing factors because having an awareness and understanding of the problem will help guide you to the solution. I want to divide it into 3 separate categories: inflammation, brain chemicals, and underlying psychology. To start with inflammation, I always stand by my philosophy that inflammation is one of the biggest contributors to every health problem. We know that inflammation of the brain can cause depression, anxiety, memory problems, dementia, ADHD, autism. And one example of when your body's totally inflamed and it affects your brain is when you have the flu. Think about it. You're so tired, you can't think straight, you can't concentrate, you're not motivated, and it's darn right depressing. Thank goodness it's short-lived. There's a lot of different causes of inflammation, and I've discussed one probably in every video I've made, from toxin and chemical exposure, stress and lack of sleep. Dental problems can be a source of infection and inflammation, which I'll have another video on, and infections. And an example of kind of a sneaky infection would be if you have an overgrowth of yeast or candida in your body. It can cause mood problems, joint pain, fatigue, migraines, so it may be worth trying a yeast detox or cleanse. I always recommend doing a detox in general because if you remove sources of inflammation in your body, it can change the path and course of your health and life. Now, brain chemicals. The Western medicine views depression as an imbalance of brain chemicals, particularly serotonin. This can be an inherited imbalance or due to nutritional deficiencies, because if you don't have the building blocks to make brain chemicals, you'll suffer. One example that anyone can try is if you are deficient in folate. And it's not folate or folic acid, it's the breakdown product called methylfolate. So you could get methylfolate, or folinic acid is another word. Try it every day for a month or 2. And if you don't notice improvement, you're probably not low. If you want to understand methylation problems better, you can learn more from an online expert, Dr. Ben Lynch, at mthfr.net. Now, antidepressants. A lot of doctors will put people on antidepressants to help balance these brain chemicals. After trying to do this for patients for a couple decades, I don't find it very effective, and studies really support that. Unfortunately, the longer you're on them, your body starts really making the chemicals on your own, and so if you try to stop the medicine, it can be really bad. But you can do it if you do it really gradually, and I always recommend having a good source of professional help and support. That being said, there are certain supplements you can take to help boost these brain chemicals, and there's a lot of them. It could be 5-HTP, tryptophan, SAMe, tyrosine, B2, B12, inositol, GABA, magnesium, methylfolate. But if you're on antidepressants and take all these supplements, you can end up with too much serotonin, and that can be dangerous. If you want to learn more about that, you can go online. There's a great expert named Trudy Scott. You can look at her up on YouTube for videos, but also she has a website called everywomanover29.com. Speaking of women, if your mood changed around hormonal times like menopause, hormones could be the answer. I like progesterone, but I will be making another video on perimenopause. Last and definitely not least is underlying psychology. You may have inherited your perspective in life. While growing up, for example, you could have been told you're worthless a lot, and that starts to stick and become your inner voice, but you can work on that, and it can change, especially with counseling. Another thing is maybe everything changed after something major happened in your life, say a deployment, ending a relationship, a death in the family, an accident, any major trauma. And so again, I can never support enough trying counseling or any self-help, but you have to commit yourself to wanting to work on it and wanting to change, because it's like with weight loss. You can't join a gym and be guaranteed weight loss. It takes work to be successful. There's also a lot of self-help books out there. I love to rely on faith in God, and prayer is very helpful. And all of these can be helpful and definitely cheaper than therapy, but I can never put a price on happiness. Research shows that clicking the thumbs up and subscribe button will make fingers healthy and strong, and besides, it's free.